Fever, away!
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to ETF2L Season 15 Semi-Finals, brought to you by KritzKast. Tonight we have quite the lineup for you. Notorious Feila eSports will be taking on Lucrosa after they squeeze their way into playoffs by just 1 point ahead of Open Squad. The winner of this one will, of course, head on through to the finals of this season, taking on the behemoth of a mixed team known as Elephant, while the loser will unfortunately be knocked out, taking third place. So certainly a lot to play for both teams. Will Feila have another shot at the finals like last season, or will Lucrosa jump their way from 5th place all the way to the top 2? My name is Chando. We got Foppish on productions, and joining me in the casting booth for the first time is my boy Georgebaii. George, it's lovely to have another Brit joining me here. How are you today?
I am great, thank you very much. And like you said, more Brits to Mario, I think, in terms of casting. So I'm glad to be here, especially for this big game we got here. Semi-final Premiership playoff game. Winner goes straight to the grand final. The loser takes the spoils in 3rd place. So yeah, all to play for here, and really looking forward to it.
That's good. Yeah, I think it'll be quite the match here. We've got some interesting maps as well. The usual Koth Product seems to be a bit of a popular map between all the teams, really. Casted it so much during the most recent LAN, and no surprise we're seeing it here today. Followed by Koth Warmtic, another popular choice, especially for Feila as well. They're doing a lot of damage on Warmtic throughout the season. And finally, PL Badwater as well, going back to the roots. A bit of payload, nothing wrong with that at all, so it's nice to change things up. But starting off on Koth Product, and like I say, like a really strong map. So George, you got anything really to say about these two teams with regards to this map?
In regards to this map, I think it's going to be mostly based around how much the damage the MMM will get. I mean, Wiethoofd are really known for like how much damage they get during games. They're normally in top of the logs, like in most matches they play. So it's going to be, I think it's going to wind down to them as well as how much the combo plays, especially on a match like Koth for Highlander.
I mean, definitely. Xenos, if anyone has been keeping an eye on the stats pages provided by Snuggles, so shout out to him. He's been providing the top damage, highest damage of the season as well, I think. Or maybe it's Kazarok. I mean, another brilliant player, Kazarok, highest kills of the season so far. That's the sniper for Feila there. So we're going to be wanting to watch out for him. This map can absolutely be essential for a good sniper to just turn up and absolutely decimate the competition. And Kazarok certainly has been doing that. Not to say that Bears hasn't been doing a lot of work though. He's been sort of, I could say, retired for a while, making a comeback to Highlander. So it's good to see him back. Been doing it well as well, but considering Kazarok is his debut and he's just been absolutely tearing it up this season, no doubt it'll be a bit of a runner-up for the Player of the Season, Sniper of the Season, debut. I think he's got a lot of awards coming in, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. Kazarok being a really outstanding player this season, I believe. I mean, he's progressed a lot, I think, since like before. I remember him starting out in mid, like for Highlander, and then he played a few 60 seasons after. And then suddenly he's shot into the limelight as one of like, the best snipers, I think, in Highlander recently for Premiership, definitely. So the sniper fight definitely going to be an interesting point for this first map of products. And actually, I think we're going live here.
We are indeed. This is Lucrosa versus Feila eSports for the ETF2L semi-finals. Map 1 on product, brought to you by KritzKast. Feila rolling out in the red side here. Jinxie taking a lot of damage so far. Xenos getting some early damage down there. Kasuki making that jump. Buddy gets shut down. No, he doesn't. That's Menti to get shut down. Crayon and Kasuki both go down as well. Blood is getting headshot by Bears. Chupa again, the double stab. Takes down Kazarok and Joe. That's such essential players for Feila that are now back in that respawn queue. And looks like Lucrosa can just absolutely tear across. Agi is going to try and get the pick onto Bears, but he's not going to be able to get the stab. And they are going to take this first point.
Really great stuff there coming out for the flank there for Kasuki, taking the attention away, picking up those frags on the left side, while Chupa walks in, picks up 2 players, like you said, at the backs. So early point control here for Lucrosa as Feila probably on the back foot right now, looking to try and repush this. They're going to be sucking up here for a cliff push, it seems, with like the rest of the combo, as the rest of them try to walk up, and Lucrosa seems to take their space around here. Uber's popped actually for the side of the Lucrosa actually, as the Demoman tries to come in here, and Joe NFC has to back off. Jinxie now taking point presence as the rest of the team moves forward. Got Mentadex trying to get some more spam into main here, as the rest of the team quite comfortably actually retook this, but Kasuki in with the late bomb trying to get something done. Doesn't quite manage it, but this chewing him down. It's going to be the point back for Feila.
Yeah, Bloodless on the backline there. And that important 2k there. Joe overextending a little bit. Gets picked off by Wish. Not sure who that is, in fact. But I think we might have missed Joe's incredible crit sticky there. And three important players for Lucrosa. And that was a done deal. Kazrok getting that body shot onto Grabber as well. Made that such an incredible push there. Agi does get the pick onto Bez now. Kronk pushing up the left side a little bit. Trying to get some damage down. Bloodless gets backstab spam. Going down to a brilliant rocket there by Kasuki as well. The crits does come back out though. He does manage to pick off Kronk. Takes down Xenos as well, but the bomb from Kasuki comes in. Layla's so weak. She's so weak now. She's still alive. Chupa trying to get that stab, but doesn't quite follow up. But it's going to be Rambasaur with the pistol that takes her down. And Crayon now on a 4K. So some brilliant reflections. Taking down Mentalex. Agi getting body shot down as well. Surely Lucrosa can just hold this point now.
Yeah, Joe invested a lot of that crits in trying to get Grabber, but like Grabber had like huge dukes coming out, and then attention wave obviously from Layla, who got picked off in that fight there, and then Crayon with the cleanup afterwards, like you said. Excellent aero denial for. So coming up to 2 minutes now for the side of the Lucrosa, to look to try and hold this off. Bez with another big edge headshot onto Kazarok there, denying that sniper. And Chupa with a baby back stab onto Jonah. That's going to kill some sort of aggression onto this push here, as the rest of Vader try to get some sort of purchase here. But Grabber's comfortable in Cliff right now, 100% HP of overcharge. As he looks to try and hold strong with this, and a lot of picks going the way, actually, the side of the Lucrosa.
Yeah, it looks like a bit of suicide push there, just to try to get the force off of Grabber. He does hold on to it, however, and Layla actually went down to a brilliant headshot there by Bez, who now takes down Kazarok for the second time as well. So Bez really turning up. I was giving all the attention to Kazarok in the pre-game, but it seems to be Bez that's holding this sniper duel at the moment. That maybe Kazarok will turn it around, maybe I'll be proven wrong. Xenos getting backstabbed, that's a brilliant first pick, but the backstab onto Layla comes out as well. Chupa getting that pick onto the medic, that is huge, and the Uber does come out now for Lucrosa. They're not going to be able to take anything with it, although they do already have the point, and with Layla down, they haven't exactly lost a lot there. Menti and Agi both getting picked off as well. So it's not really a good push or a bad push. It's just kind of resets things a little bit. Layla is going to be respawning, pushing up a Jinxie. He's taking the fight. He's hungry for Knoz. Can he find him? He's trying to get some time on point. In fact, he's just going to play them. That's a smart move there by Jinxie. He's going to have to back off though. I'm not sure how long they're going to be able to hold on to this.
Yeah, a lot of cap advantage there for the Feila to just simply push over with, and like Jinxie, like you said, they're cleaning up that cap there rather than going for Noz, which was a smart thing to do. Now they can play with this time right now with this actually slight Uber disadvantage on the side of Feila. So they've got to be careful not to get like potentially forced here later on. They're going to try and get that pick onto Grabber, but Grabber taking a really passive stance here in between this, like behind this point here. As Jinxie tries to take some aggression left side, the Uber does come out on the side of Lucrosa, trying to walk forward with Noz. Blood is being avoided here right now. He's going to be dropping down from cliff area. But a lot of flanks area coming up here. Chupa with two quick picks, and the rest of them coming in. A lot of stuff coming to way of Lucrosa there, and they look to try and potentially recap this.
Yeah, brilliant stabs there by Chupa in the right place at the right time there, followed up by Xenos, taking down Joan amongst others as well. A really good use there. And now Grabber is going to be holding on to a decent Uber advantage of about 40-odd%. That's more than enough to hold on to. We've only got to hold on to this for another 30 seconds or so. Feila kind of struggling a little bit here to take any space at the moment. Jinxie gets picked off. Some nice stickies by Xenos there. He has been doing some insane damage. Chupa getting the backstab onto Kazarok there. Does get caught off by Lattice's minigun, but they've got to commit to the point now. 10 seconds left. They've got to do something. Layla's disconnected from Joan. Joan's so weak. Rambosaur's in there. Can he make anything of it? He gets Joan. He gets Spamfest as well. Layla goes down as well. That is going to be the first point for Lucrosa, and a brilliant defense.
Yeah, brilliant defense there. You could have questioned maybe Feila's aggression there. They would take a bit too long to like try and contest at that point, and it was only actually Jinxie trying to get any sort of cap time onto it. It seemed a bit too occupied with the players behind, and it was like perfect from the Lucrosa. It could just take all the space they wanted to clean up that round. So going into this next round, Feila on the receiving end here. I guess you could say the perennial favourites, the higher seeds, on the receiving foot here. One round down already, as the rest of the Lucrosa tried to take this aggression in and this motivation into this next mid.
Yeah, Knoz doing, I think, most of the work for his team at the moment. They're just pounding the damage as well as he picks off Layla and Kazarok. Nice little double stab. Chupa's been doing so much work as well. He might even be able to get Bloodist here. He's getting in position. There goes the stab onto Bloodist, and he gets the stab onto Joan. He's so weak. Does get the follow-up. puts a bit of damage down, takes down Joan UFC, Spamfest as well, going down to Wish. Rambasaur follow up onto Menti. That is going to be another easy push for Lucrosa.
Yeah, Chupa definitely making a difference here. Against this former team, mind you, and already top scoring for Lucrosa right now into this next round. He's going to be in the backlines here, trying to get maybe a pick onto Layla, but Vladis is going to try and call him out. Maybe tagged him a little bit, so they're going to know he's behind right now. As the rest of Feila try and push forwards onto Cliff here. Chip is still in the backlines, as we can see, but as the rest of the team looks to try and get some cap time. You've got Jinxie once again leading the charge, trying to get some sort of toe cap going on the side there. Actually, I think we saw a telefrag somewhere. Might have just glimpsed it.
Quite possibly, Joan going down to Bears as the Uber comes out onto Wish. Cooper following up, trying to get that kill onto T-Times to back himself up. They did get the frag onto Layla by Wish with that Uber exchange, so Grabber is going to hold onto that advantage. Once again, he's been so in control of these Uber exchanges here, constantly playing with just so much confidence as Chupa gets that stab, another double stab actually, onto Menti and Kazarok. Wish follows up, taking down Agi. T-Time down as well. Feila really need to reconsolidate here if they've got any chance of taking this. I mean, they're just leading players so hard. The combo does come back up, but they haven't got the follow-up there. Stab onto Bloodis, and the pipe onto Layla. Jinxie goes down as well, followed up by Wish as he takes down Joan UFC. That is the combo down. They need to push together. Wish following up on a 6k, takes down Menti, and Cooper with the stab onto Kazarok. That's a 7k. That is huge at the moment.
Yeah, Lucrosa playing brilliantly with Chupa here, I have to add, really good synergy from him, and he's able just to get these picks out of nowhere and get these huge double stabs onto the combo, being an absolute menace for Feila right now, who are like looking at potentially losing the second round right now. Already a minute left, coming up to a minute left for Lucrosa here with the remaining cap time, and Krog's going to take a strong position here as the rest of the Uber comes in for Lucrosa. The rest of the players going to try and move forwards and get some more damage in. Agi's going to get a stab onto Bez in the meantime in the receiving end, as Kazuki tries to go really deep on the left side, and the rest of Feila are stuck in this cliff area right now, trying to get some sort of heals onto their combo, but just not happening. Flanks are getting completely wiped, I think, from what I see. A lot of damage going their way. They might eventually be able to cap this out right now. Lucrosa already digs the back up right now in the face of these backup players they have.
Yeah, it's looking finally quite good for Feila as they use their Uber in, led by Joan and Jinxie there. Jinxie getting that frag to Xenos, that is massive. Can he to Freyon? No, he can't, just Wish down in the 1v1. They do, however, get the point. Not the best of Ubers. Grabber did, I believe, escape with his life. He's now got about 50% Uber advantage, more than enough to make a push off, and only 40 seconds left for Lucrosa, so I'd say that they're in control of this round quite for now. Feila eSports going to be holding on to the point there. They're setting Kazarok up. He can finally maybe get a bit of space and try and start turning up in these sniper v sniper duels here. However, as I say that, Bez just gets the nice little drop onto him, taking him down back into the respawn queue, and the Uber's out now. They're wasting no time. Wish in deep. Can he make anything of it? Gets the pick onto Blood. It's now on an 8k. They're going to be able to get this point, no problems whatsoever. They've got to deal with Agi on the backs. Someone has to deal with him, but he gets putter stabbed. He takes down Bez. He does get arrowed by Grabber. He did manage to get the pick onto the sniper though, which is something. And now Joan wants to get back in. Uber out, along with Jinxie. They're following up, trying to recreate the push last time. It was successful enough. They find Kronk as well. Finding so many players, in fact, to be able to retake this point. That was very back and forth there.
Yeah, very back and forth there. Pretty desperate moves there coming out from Feila, having to really commit with that Uber in to try and recap that point. And now Lucrosa are actually left with 20 seconds to like recap this and like get this next round. So a lot of time to play on their side. So the rest of Feila tries to get some sort of defense going on here. They seem to have collapsed at the end, and Chupa once again being a menace of the backlines, just picking off Kazarok there. So no sniper for the side of Feila as he tries to consolidate their position on the point. And Lucrosa taking actually a passive stance here. They're going to try and build their Uber up. Grabber's on 90% right now, trying to get the rest of this Uber up, and probably looking for aggressive push here onto the right side.
Yeah, looks like they can take this in pretty comfortably here. T-Time goes down. Joan actually took the backstab by Chupa there. So that's a brilliant push there. They don't even have to commit too much to it. Feila knows they need to back out there, but they need to push pretty quickly now. They've only got 13 seconds left. Bloodis now playing on the cliff. Along with his combo now, they need to commit some time to the point here. With Menti on the right-hand side, taking that aggression. Can he find anything? They're finally starting to commit stuff to the point. They use the Uber out, trying to follow up onto Kronk there. They do get the frag onto him. They are going to be able to get the recapture there. They're into overtime now, 1 minute 30. Not looking too great for them as Bez gets the frag onto Junior FC and Jinxie. Brilliant 2k there, but they've still holding on to this point here, but they've lost so many players. Now with Grabber with about a 40% advantage, they can surely push this back in.
Yeah, Lucrosa definitely not looking to give Feila any sort of space in the point right now. Me pushing in, Crayon leading the charge right now with this him. And so much frags going the way on the side of Lucrosa. It's 3 players up in Feila. This is going to be another round.
It is indeed, yeah. I mean, Chupa there managed to take yet another double backstab. I think something needs to be done about that boy absolutely turning up today. As we've seen in the past, he's been one of the strongest knife spies in Europe for a while there, so really living up to his expectations. But perhaps Tea Time needs to take a more slightly passive role, playing a bit more on the hunt for him, because it seems that Chupa is completely tearing up Feila at the moment.
And Bez getting an insta-pick there onto Jonah. Just no demo man for the side of Feila. Already on the receiving end for this mid. And actually later running crits here, so it's going to be extra devastating. No demo man to use that crits on, and she's forced to back off and wait for the respawning go, as the rest of the crows are pushed forward and wait for this cat to be available. Got Ajay on the back lines trying to maybe make something here happen, but the rest of Feila are scattered right now, as far as I can tell.
We have lost control point.
Yeah, it's a bit fragmented at the moment, but Layla did hang on to that crits there, so they might be able to make something of it. If they can get the drop onto the enemy combo there, they can certainly make a good push out of it. Agi does get picked off, however. They've got to start thinking about using this crit soon. Here it comes. They find Kronk, but Layla instantly getting backstabbed. That is it's gone, but they are getting a lot of decent picks, and they do manage to take down Wish and Chupa. But that's not to say that they lost a few players themselves. Kazarok, Tea Time as well, both go down. They might be able to do this, but at the same time, Grabber's still got that Uber, and he is going to be using it in. He's going to be using it on Crayon. Bloodish just can't run away fast enough. Surely he's going to bleed out. Maybe he's not. No, he gets away with his life just. They haven't managed to actually commit to this. Oh no, sorry, they have actually managed to commit to the point there. The recap's in as Grabber gets backstabbed, and Kronk as well. Crown going down as well. Brilliant push there. Holos comes in, trying to make the best of a bad situation there, but he gets picked off as well. Now it's Wish. He comes in as well. Body shot down by Kazarov. And now Kasuki's in. It's endless. Can he finally be the one? No, Layla escapes with her life after 3 committing to her.
Yeah, excellent cleanup from Bloodist there. Managed to clean up this jump, sacrificing players on the side of the Crows. They're trying to get that med pick, very desperate too. But point presence right now for the side of Feila as he looks to try and get this crit spell up, which they already have actually. They've already got crits charged in them. They're going to be waiting for the Crows to bunch up perhaps, but perhaps they've already had the prior knowledge from their spy calling it. You've got Chupa in behind right now, but he gets cleaned up once again by Bloodist. So Bloodist definitely stepping up the spy checking right now. They know he's the threat, the perennial threat for the team, as they look to try and get back into this game. The rest of the Crows are now committing onto the right side here on the cliff. Big bomb in, and actually drops Layla. I think the big bomb in there from Kajon's actually dropping her, as the rest of the team looks to try and come forwards. But not enough players there. It was a good sack wave actually.
Yeah, it was a brilliant double bomb there by Sinos and Kasuki. Kasuki getting the finishing rocket after a nice little pipe there by Knoz. So well played. And now no crits for Feila. They can't really hang on to this at the hills either. They're going to have a big Uber advantage as Grabber comes into 90% now. Actually trying to make something. He's in the back lines. He's ready for something here. And I think he might get caught out. No, he's not. The Uber's already used in. He was too slow. Crayon does get picked off, and the stab to Bez by Agi finally comes in there. They are probably going to be able to take this. However, Joe doesn't want to give them that opportunity. He's in so deep, doing so much damage, but no one's really following up. Finally, Jinxie comes in. Menti bombs in as well. Grabber's really weak as well. Gets off by Spamfest, I do believe it is. And Menti with a nice little couple of kills there. As Agi butter knifes down Sinos. They're going to hold on to this point.
Yeah, I have to get a shout out to Spamfest there. The level 3 in main really taking the attention away from the rest of the Uber for Lucrosa, so they weren't really able to capitalise on getting much damage onto the comp. And Feila just managed to collapse on them in the end with the next fight. And they're looking to try and consolidate this. The sentry's still up in main. I think one of the sniper managed to spot it. As the rest of the Crows are now come up into this right side of the cliff area to get some more spam in. Got Chupa again on the back lines, potentially waiting for distraction to move in here. He's going to be scoped. He's going to be poking in onto House right now. He's going to be walking in now, but Jinxie spots him. Good stuff from him. As the rest of the Crows are trying to maybe toe cap this to try and get some extra time on their side. But Feila not giving them an inch, it seems, as they come into the closing seconds potentially.
Yeah, it's not looking great for Feila either, as Layla actually went down to a nice pipe there by Sinos and Kasuki on the back lines, down Joan. He might even be able to get away with his life. He is quite weak again though. Finally gets caught off by Kazarov. Nice little headshot by him actually. And now they might be able to regroup here a little bit, but Lucrosa were able to recapture that point there. They definitely couldn't have held on to that. And now Grabber still at that 100%, so someone's going to have to do something about that, as the sentry by Spamfest is going to get sapped and taken down as well. Jinxie getting headshot, still picked there by BES, or Bez, sorry, as Kronk goes down in return there. They want to try and commit to this dry push perhaps. Jones waiting for that piss to Fade away, he pushes in. Layla already running as the Uber does get used. Joan was caught out big time, gets punished by Bez as well. And Wish is hot on Layla's heels. Can he get the kill? Yes, he can. He does go down to someone else in return, Spamfest that is. But the damage has been done. There's no more Layla, and it's not looking so good for Feila now.
Yeah, the Crows are doing exactly what they need to do. Take the attention off the rest of the team capping, get their flanks in to try and pick off the med to buy time. And doing exactly that. Coming up to a minute left in this time, with Feila having about 24 seconds left as well. But they're going to be repushing this huge stack onto point right now, trying to cap this out. And the Crows are going to now be in the receiving end here. A lot of picks go the way of Feila right now. So essentially going to be potentially a dry push from this next wave. It's like the 50% on Grabber.
Yeah, that's exactly what they need to do there. They play with the player advantage. They got some good picks in by their pick classes there. And but as Joan goes down, speaking of pick classes, that is by Chupa. Absolute legend today. No demo is going to make this hard to defend. Not much time though. They finally sink point, but they're collapsing back onto it. As Blood is just walking forward, and the crits comes. No, that's not a crit. That is the timer that they have finally won the point. Well played to Feila. It's not over yet for them.
Yeah, the dream still remains for Feila to bring this back right now. Very late push there from the Lucrosa. I think if they had spawned a bit earlier, they might have had a chance to get some more overtime, but didn't happen in the end, despite the pick onto Joe right now. So coming into this next mid, still map point here for the Lucrosa coming into this next round. So we're going to see how this pans out right now. Normal setup right here. Kiwazuki again committing deep on the left side to try and take space away from the combo. We've got Spamfest waiting for him as well, as the first pick goes to Bez onto Bloodless Heavy. So that combo class is out of the way now for Feila, as the rest of the team look to try and commit forwards here. The rest of Feila right now walking forwards into the main area of the Lucrosa, as a lot of frags go their way, a lot of players going down on their side, and it's going to be a mid-win for Feila.
Yeah, real well played there by Spamfest. I think he picked up 2 clean kills there with the panic attack. Which is not something you see every day, to be honest, and they were able to pick off Grabber as well. I think that was Agi or maybe Kazarok getting that frag onto Grabber. Gonna give Layla the full advantage at the moment here. Now she's just coming into the 100%, and they're looking very comfortable at the moment. It seems like that they've kind of warmed up a little bit, George, and now they can finally start competing more efficiently against this team.
Yeah, the Uber's going to get popped out here from Layla right now. Joe with a huge bomb in onto the left side trying to get onto Grabber, I think, but he's going to eventually have to back off from that Pyro of Crayon as the rest of the team looks to consolidate. It's a cap they already have, already a good chunk of time right now from the side of Feila, as the rest of the Crows look to try and regroup and potentially a lot of players right now, so maybe going for actually they're just going to push up normally onto the left side right now. I thought they were prepping for some sort of stack wave, but we've got Knoz coming in onto main right now, getting the initial stickies in as the rest of the team follows up. Agi in behind right now, trying to get onto main, and he actually gets a pick onto Bez, so that's a sniper down from the side of the Lucrosa. As the rest of both teams trying to consolidate their ground, gradually move forwards and get that cap time they need. Uber coming out on the side of the Lucrosa right now onto Wish to scout. Nice reflect pipe there from T time onto the scout there, so that's a scout down for the side of the Lucrosa. As they're going to actually get this cap time here. Very passive stuff here from Feila, but it just might edge it out.
Oh, nice little step there by Chupa onto Layla there, and finishes off Joe as well, as Joe trades with him indeed, but they are going to be able to get the point absolutely there. I thought it was looking really good for Feila at the moment there, because they managed to get Layla out alive. They didn't really lose that many players, but Chupa there with the late backstab onto her is going to set things into a good position for Lucrosa now. Now they got to, it's really up to Feila now to try and make a big play here. Something we haven't really been seeing any like double bombs or suicide waves coming in from Feila much, and I think I'd like to see a bit more, to be quite honest, from them. They're just kind of trying to push together as a team there, but they've already lost Joan now, so they can't really play that. They do manage to get the pick onto Wish, however, but without Joan, I really don't know if they can commit to this. Chupa getting into a good position, but he does get caught out by Tea Time, and maybe he's going to escape with his life, but probably not. There he goes down. Kazarok losing that sniper duel to Bez as well. It's not looking very hopeful right now for Feila. They want to try and commit to this though for some reason. Menti on the back lines. He's gone behind there. Does get the frag onto Kasuki. Rambasaur has something to say about it though, as he takes Menti down. And the Uber does come out. Second Uber coming out from Layla as well. I don't know who's really winning this at the moment. It's very fragmented. Wish got the nice little 2k as he took down Bloodis, as well as Jinxie, I do believe. But Feila weren't able to even capitalize and take the point, so it's not really looking too good for them at the moment, as Lucrosa kind of even out the timing at the moment.
Yeah, Menti just about getting that cap right there, so that's going to try and even out the lead there for Feila, so they try to extend it. Rest of the team is going to try and hold passively behind the point, but the rest of the Lucrosa aren't having it. They're going to start committing him, Cronking very deep, but a huge bombing from Mentalix actually getting denied there, I think, by the air blast from Crayon. So the Lucrosa look to try and recap this. The rest of the team look to take positions, but could have a lot of options here actually. They could potentially go for a forward help, they could consolidate on Cliff, which they can do in most of the game. And looks like Feila going to try and build up on the left side again. They've been doing this, relying on the special a lot, and Cheap is going to try and get onto Joe right now. Doesn't quite manage it though, he gets cleaned up by Jinxie.
Yeah, I think they want to commit to this dry push here, which seems to be their biggest asset at the moment. Their DMs is really working in favour. Joe playing very, apart from his combo at the moment, and he gets isolated in connector, gets picked off by Kasuki as Tea Time goes down along with Jinxie on the 5K. On the 6K, he can down everybody. He's unstoppable at the moment. Kronk with the follow-up along with Xenos. That's basically a wipe. In fact, it was a wipe. Joan just being the first to go and the first to respawn. They took down everybody at dry push. A brilliant Uber there and brilliant play there by Wish.
I made a wish and I got a 6k. Big stuff there from the scout coming out. They're getting that clean up during that dry push there from Feila, I believe. And a big time lead right now for the side of the Lucrosa. So Feila with all do, they're already down the round. If they lose this, it'll be the first map going to the Lucrosa. We've got Jinxie once again getting cap time on this corner here, like he does a lot. Just getting that early time there to try and push some of the Lucrosa out position as the rest of the team come in right now. A lot of players set up on the right side. Joe is down to very low HP and he's looking to try to consolidate on this point here. Not enough pressure, I think, from the Lucrosa to actually back this cap off, so eventually they have to relook him. It doesn't look like that way actually. A lot of players walking in and out, wishing really deep onto the combo, getting eventually taken out by Bloodis, and Cheaper once again on the back lines. He's looking to come in. He's focused on Kazurock, gets that pick, so nicely done there. Perhaps even seen the Layla below him, he might have gone for that, but definitely getting that sniper pick does open up a lot of space for your team.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, though, Feila in a very good position at the moment, as they have the full Uber advantage, well, by about 70%, more than enough to hang on to, but they got to worry about this dry push that seems to be coming in from Lucrosa. They might have to pop this Uber off just to hold them back. There it is, the Uber comes out, it's led by Jinxie, followed up by Joan. Can they collapse on them? They do manage to take down Xenos, that's a really important, and the follow-up, they want to keep on going, and they have to back up a little bit and just play the point here. Grabber's probably not going to have the Uber in time, with only 10 seconds left. Actually, he might be able to get it just in time. It's now on 85%, and they might be able to make something of it, though. They did just lose Chupa and Kasuki. Joan went down, whoever, as well. Now they've got to deal with the imminent push coming in. They are about to use the Uber. It comes in just in time. They get the frag onto Kronk, which is pretty important, but they might have to lose the point, but they have about 20 seconds or so to make the repush.
Very close stuff there, leaving it to exactly the last moment to try and recap that, and they do it successfully. They got a hold for 15 more seconds to close off this map and take it to the next one, and already be ranked one map up. Feila really desperate now, trying to come in on this left side. They're going to commit extra hard with their combo in. Joe leading the charge. He's going to walk in on this left side, getting denied by Crayon. Excellent stuff from him. Eventually the cap time's going to come out from the side of Feila. A lot of players on this point right now, as the rest of the Lucrosa look to be passive right now. It's urgent, they need to keep this game alive, and eventually Feila will get that round as sweep as possible.
So close indeed, that game, well, that round I should say, as it now comes to 2-2, so actually a close game as well. It all comes down to this round now. The winner will take the first map and put themselves in a good position for these semi-finals. Both demos doing so much damage, in fact, so fast to mid, but it's going to be Joan that falls to the help of Wish, with Xenos pounding the damage as he has done all season there. That's a nice little pick onto Kasuki. It's going to open up possibilities for the flank there. It's Tea Time leads the charge. Don't really know what he can make of it. Kazurock gets that pick onto Kronk as well before going down to Chupa. Frags left, right and centre at the moment though, but it's going to be Agi and Tea Time both getting picked off by Rambasaur, by his shotgun and mini sentry respectively. The bomb in from Menti doesn't make anything of it. In fact, he picks up Xenos. Better than nothing. I think he wanted Grabber. The bomb from Kasuki comes in. He almost gets Layla. Not quite though. And nice stickies there by Joan. Layla's going to have to back up and take that health kit. And Feila's going to take this firstly.
Yeah, Bloodis with a big bodyguard moment, right? Jumping in the way of that rocket to save Layla's life, and it's going to work out as Feila get this first point on this mid right now. So the rest of the Crows look to try and take space once again on this cliff. They'll be really favouring this right side push. The Uber does come out. A lot of flashes on the side of Grabber. He's a very hefty Uber right there, but the rest of the Feila already backed off. They've got Nozzin really deep onto Joe right now, getting juggled up by the heavy of Bloodis. As the rest of the team actually try to consolidate position, but in the midst of that, the Crows actually managed to recap the point. So they'll be looking to try and get back some time right now, as the rest of Feila move on this left side to try and recap this with Jinxie once again, toe capping as he does.
Yeah, brilliant bomb there by
big shot!
Kasuki. Nice blooming air shot there onto Layla. Pops her up in the air and then gets the clean rocket, taking her down. They do get the point there, but for how long the question remains, as with no medic, they surely can't hang on to it. Rambosaur does go down, but I don't know how much of a difference that's going to make. Wish now ready to lead the charge for his team. They want this point back. Jones got something to say about it though. He has to back off eventually. He's taking a lot of damage there. Wish manages to take him down. Jinxie going down as well. So many frags for Lucrosa, opened up by a brilliant opening by Kasuki there. Surely going to be able to take this. However, they do lose Xenos and Crayon as well. Spamfest is holding it basically by himself. Somebody help that man. Bloodis is going to help that man, but they do lose the point, but they've got the players now. They might be able to push this forward. Let's get that first pick onto Wish there. They just need to regroup and then they can surely re-push this.
Chipper behind. Oh, gets spotted out by Jinxie at the last possible moment. Nice stuff from him. The rest of Feila now looking to try and recap this once again, but the Uber's going to come out for Feila once again from this cliff side. Got Noz leading the charge, probably getting the Kazarock right here. Nice pipes from him. As the rest of Feila to try and repush in this main area. Uber comes out on their side right now. So he's trying to come in, but I think a lot of denial actually went in the way of probably Crayon right there. It was a crit push actually. I think Kazuki the only casualty of that, and Feila are going to recap the point once again. Very back and forth stuff for this deciding round.
There's so much to play for at the moment. I think both teams are just fully committing to the push wherever there's an opportunity. They're going to try and do it. Chupa gets the first stab onto Bloodis, follows up onto Layla. That's some two brilliant picks once again. It seems to be a common theme with Chupa's playstyle this game so far. Mentalex is going to pick onto Wish. He's not quite done yet. He whips down Kronk. Does he want Grabber? I should think so. There comes the bomb in. Can he do it? Nice surf by Grabber. Now he needs to get the follow-up rocket and he can't do it as Rambosaur's mini deals with Mentalex. But still a nice little play there by Menti. Nice opportunity and opening up some potential to hold on to the point, equalising the situation a little bit as Ez gets the nice body shot onto Joe. But the repush looks imminent now as Grabber has that full Uber and Layla only on 25%. So they're going to lose this. They do manage to get the force, I should say. Chupa's going to try and get that frag onto Layla. She's very weak, but Chupa has to worry about Jinxie as well there. And Layla's going to get out with her life and a decent Uber advantage as well. They've only got to hold this off for another 50 seconds or so. It can be done. Feila looking very comfortable to reclaim it.
Yeah, hectic stuff once again. Very close there, but Chupa actually trying to get on the Layla, but getting once again spotted out by Jinxie. The Mad Milk is on him, exposing the position. The rest of Feila walk up onto the left side. Got Mentalex going very deep here into this connector area, but he's going to be forced back by Kazuki. So just normal Uber building stuff. Layla's going to have hers very soon, as Kazuki going to get picked on the spam fest. But the Uber does come out on the left side right now. Joe once again leading the charge, trying to get onto Kronk right now. WM1 out to T-Time, trying to get onto the heavy, and actually gets Fist of Steeled by Kronk.
That is a tragic go, isn't it?
But the Feila are going to get the caps anyways. They're going to be a minute left from victory.
Yeah, they do manage to get it. I don't know for how long, but the frags are coming in their favour as Crown and Wish both go down. The Uber actually gets used out. Joan might be able to escape with his life as well. That'd be something. Layla holding on to 40% advantage, so they're back in the driving seat. They want to try and take this. They want to try and hold on to this for as long as possible. They're probably going to have to Uber in time as well. As the bomb from Kazuki comes in, he gets the frag on to Layla. He gets the frag onto Jinxie as well. T-Time going down as well to Wish. Brilliant follow-up by them. Kazuki, however, going down. Grabber getting butter knifed by Haji as well. So many frags for both teams. But for now, it looks like Feila are going to be able to hold on to this. They're going to try and commit to a last-ditch effort to try and reclaim the point. But it's not looking hopeful for Lucrosa. Crayon's leading the charge. He gets instantly picked off. This gets caught off as well. They've got a lot of overtime, however, and they might be able to commit to this repush here. Kronk gets taken down along with Rambosaur, along with Kasuki and Xenos. Not looking very hopeful at this point. It's all up to Wish. They're running the Vax as well. Classic Grabber. However, they cannot stop a backstab. 3k by Agi. Just what they need. They've just got to worry about Crayon now. No one can deal with Crayon. Someone's going to deal with that man. No.
It can't be possible. He might actually get this cap. We've got Bloodis in on the right side, but he's too close, surely. And the rest of the Crows are going to follow up. Crayon, big stars trying to save that round right now. It's all to play for. If Feila get this next cap, they have won this first map and done the first sweep. If the Crows have run this down, they're going to take the first. all to play for in this last point. As the rest of the Feila trying to walk up on the left side again. T-time with the early pick onto Chupa, so no spy presence here from the side of Lucrosa. So no sort of espionage antics going on there. We've got Agi going in behind as well, waiting in the main. He's going to decloak right now. He's going to get on the demo. Huge pick right there. It's going to be crucial for them if they look to try and push this out. The flank's going to try and commit on the right side for the side of Lucrosa right now, but eventually Wish is going to get cleaned up. And they're going to be toe capping this spam fest really forward on point. Lucrosa need to contest this if they want to stay alive right now. Big bomb from Kazuki trying to clear that spam fest, but so much presence here from Feila. They're surely going to get this, and they do. They do the reverse sweep. First maps of Feila.
Unbelievable. They're taking it from a 2-0 all the way to victory. Well played to Feila there in a very long and drawn out game of products, but it's what we in a semi-finals there, and some huge plays coming in from the likes of, well, basically everyone. I thought Crayon had made that a done deal, to be fair, but there's also some brilliant picks there from Agi as he came in with that 3k, opening up huge amounts of possibility for his team. So that was probably the best play, I think, of that game, opening up so much opportunity. Such an important and crucial time. So well played to Agi there. But I mean, both spies in general just absolutely slaying it. Joan as well turned up in the latter half. A spam fest as well. So really, really good job coming from all of them. Wish as well, just playing with that combo roll and just absolutely destroying in Ubers. There's some insane plays there from everyone, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, absolutely epic game, I had to believe. So much moments that it could have gone either way, but eventually Feila somehow managed to bring it back, like from the brink of annihilation, perhaps, to that first map. But they hold strong, come back with 3 rounds, and will take this first map in this best of 3 series as we go into, I believe it's Warmtic for the next map.
I think so. I think we might have a bit of time for logs while while we're waiting for the map changes. So they should be up on your screen very shortly. And some insane stats coming through straight away. I mean, Wish, who is this man? I guess he's some NA dude, because I've never heard of him, but he's absolutely tearing it up. 49 to 27. That is unbelievable. Some good DPM. Easily the top fragger by a long distance as well. Second, Chupa getting a mighty 40 frags as well. 43 deaths, however. So probably dying the most. Yeah, dying the most by 10 kills as well. But he was doing a lot of work for his team, so we can excuse that. Bez was a really, really high headshot rate as well. 37 frags, 35 headshots. Doing a lot of work again. And, you know, funnily enough, the top 3 all on the losing team as well in terms of frags. Which is not something you usually see that often. But here we are. I mean, like, the DM is definitely going in favour of Lucrosa at the moment. If a Wish can keep doing what he's doing, there's no reason why they can't win this back. Maybe winning Warmtic or Badwater, as we're yet to see. But, you know, on the side of Feila as well, Agi, I mean, as I said, he was doing a lot of work. He wasn't quite living up to Chupa, but I think in the latter half he really stepped up and was a formidable opponent there. Menti out on the soldier role as well. Huge damage coming in from him. 400 DPM is some pretty insane stuff. And Joe as well, matching that damage, matching 500 damage as well. Not as good as Xenos is 563, but still quite formidable. Good amount of frags as well. And Kazarok following in just loosely behind at 29 frags. You know, I think the sniper duel was fairly even. I think it took a bit of time for Kazarok to really get on his feet a little bit, but once he was warmed up, I think he was doing a lot of work for his team. Bez was really consistent though throughout, so big shout out to him. But I mean, George, any stragglers that you can see of?
Any stragglers?
I can see one.
Yeah, potentially. I see, in terms of all the players, that got Kronk on the bottom there with 30. He was playing more of a support role, I believe. He's still got to manage to do quite a considerable amount of damage, I believe. So it's really just supporting Nelson, trying to get most of the frags there, playing a lot on that cliff area, like I saw during the game. But I think I have to point out, like, I think the key for the first 2 rounds for Lucrosa was like Chupa doing all the work. He was getting the combo picks exactly when he needed to. He was getting the crucial picks onto the flank classes so they couldn't reply. It was just like being a general nuisance for the team, and I think it just held back Feila in terms of their aggression. Normally, because in the later rounds you would see them taking much more position, just like generally bullying their way onto the point right there, like getting 5 players stacked up and just like generally pushing all the other Lucrosa players out. I think once they managed to deal with the Chupa aggression and his picking capabilities, they eventually managed to like spread their wings a bit and get those 3 rounds in very spectacular fashion. It has to be said.
Oh yeah, I mean they did a tremendous job in the end. I mean, another strike I was going to really comment on was Layla on 20 deaths compared to Grabber's 7. Really makes you question how they even lost this game. I mean, I'm really not being rude, but like the logs do not favour Feila at all. And I know it's not all about logs. A lot of it is about cohesion, and Feila certainly had the stronger cohesion when it came to pushes. Their dry pushes were pretty phenomenal, and I blame a little bit of that on Lucrosa's inability to sort of just counter their pushes by just being there. They kind of gave them too much space, I felt. But at the same time, like Layla dying 20 times is like that's a pretty huge number compared to Grabber. Grabber's only died 7 times in 5 rounds, which is nuts to be quite fair. So really good stats by him. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty shocked at how well Feila clawed that back, considering like the lower stats and the amount of deaths that Layla was facing, the amount of times they were playing with that uber disadvantage, yet they were still holding the point dominantly. It really shows how strong of a synergy that they've got going for them at the moment.
Yeah, pretty much so. Must be heartbreaking though for the Crows, I would imagine. Their motivation might be a bit shot, but they're going to have to clear their heads for this next map. Another cop map, it has to be said, on Warmtic right now. So I think this should prefer a lot more to do the flank players. I think the scouts and the soldiers are going to have more of a field day here, because soldiers can just like play on the crates a lot more easily than like other gamers. And the scouts can take a lot of the aggression as well. So I think in terms of all the classes, like it's going to be scout, soldier, and sniper that's going to stand out for this map. So who do you think is going to win that fight?
Well, it's going to be a tough one, I think. I think now Feila's warmed up, I would imagine that they can be a lot more dominant on a KOF map than they were last game. Even though they won it, I didn't feel like that they were particularly dominant. I feel like they only just clawed it. I mean, it was such a close game. I think this one might be a little less close. I think it could go in the favour of Feila. I'd like to be proven wrong, because I like to see these matches go to a best of 3. But and I really want to see some payload, because frankly, I think we've seen enough KOF to last a lifetime. But you know, I think Feila's got what it takes. They seem a lot warmer now. I think Kazarot can do a lot of work on this map, especially at LAN. He was tearing it up on this map. And Menti as well, in the past, has done a lot of work on this map as well. And like you say, those are 2 really important classes when it comes to Warmtic. But do you have anything different?
Do I have anything different? Actually, one thing I'd like to point out from the last map, I believe, is that a lot of the presence was taken from like the combo, of course, like Demo Man going forwards and that. But like I think the timings of the pushes were really key to like Feila winning those rounds. I think either they conveniently picked those exact right times to push to get those first 2, because I believe like the Crows simply didn't have enough time to get players onto the point there and get some overtime. So I think either it was a master stroke from Feila to time that pushed just exactly right to try and get that last cap, or they were just insanely lucky on those 2 rounds they won. But yeah, just edging that out, I believe, and it's going to be very interesting to come into this next round. I think the Crows can still contest though. I think they can get definitely 1 or 2 rounds again on this map. So it's going to be another sub on Nucker, I believe.
It could be. I mean, it could be close. But you think Feila's going to take this one, there? Yeah?
I think if the Crows did what they were doing the first 2 rounds with Chupa and managed to do God's work right there, they should have a good chance of taking this map to Badwater. If not, I think Feila's going to take this and seal their place in the grand finals.
We will have to wait and see, I suppose. So, for anyone recapping, this is the ETF2L semi-finals of ETF2L Season 15, sorry. It's brought to you by KritzKast, as you know. And you're currently seeing Lucrosa against Feila eSports. This is the second map in our best of 3. Feila eSports taking the first map, 3-2, nail-bitingly close, in fact. Should be getting ready to go live fairly shortly. We almost have all the players in, just waiting on the last one now. And yeah, I mean, give us a bit of time to go over the results from the group stages. I mean, Lucrosa, a team that I think it's safe to say no one was going to particularly flourish this season. Not to say that they were going to be doing badly, but until the last week, they were sitting in 5th place, and then somehow found their way to 3rd place, making it to the playoffs. I think they had a really successful game against Wasp, and they were able to clutch themselves into playoffs just by 1 point ahead of Open Squad. So, I mean, George, I don't know if you've been watching the season avidly, but I guess you've been casting it as well. You think, were you surprised to see Lucrosa here?
Well, if you had my point of view from the time I saw them on Steel against Feila, I would have thought very differently. They would make playoffs. I think they had no answer to Feila on Steel. They were just like completely outclassed in that map and eventually lost it. I think it was 6-0 in the end. So it definitely turned things around to trying to get into this playoff stage. But just one point I have to add, just edging out Open Squad, I believe, at the last possible moment to get into this situation. So yeah, big turnaround for them to come back from that huge defeat from Feila in the earlier stages and to get into this sort of stage right now. But once again, on the receiving end, though, they need to win this map to keep the series alive. Otherwise, it's going to be Feila into the grand finals, and the Lucrosa will finish in third.
Absolutely. It's quite incredible, really, that they were. I think it's testament for them making third place. They've got a guaranteed third place spot, guaranteed third place medal. Everyone likes to see that. So well played for them so far. And considering where they were sitting in the middle of the group stages, now to be able to contest against Feila in such a close match in the playoffs is pretty incredible, to be fair. And they've really turned themselves up a lot. They can tell that I'd say they're one of the most committed teams of this season. Whereas, teams like Elephant, who are currently in the grand finals, are full of sort of veteran, diehard players that kind of have already won several times, to be honest. I don't think they've got the same keenness as teams like Lucrosa and actually Feila as well. Another keen team. I think Joan I don't think he's ever going to retire from this game until he's won Prem, and he's not going to ever play for any other team except Feila. So both of these teams, I think, are probably at the pinnacle of how much they are committing to try and taking this spot. So with regards to that, they both really deserve to win this, and I can really see why it's so close. And we are going to be going live fairly soon, though, guys. So yeah, this is Koth Warmtic. It's a map I don't think that we've seen too much in the past, other than a few seasons ago. But very, very good map. As George already pointed out, it's brilliant for demo men and snipers and soldiers. The crates offering a lot of mobility for the soldiers and a lot of high ground. It makes for a very interesting Koth map. So we should be seeing some interesting plays coming out from both teams here. Both soldiers, especially, as they were doing a lot of work for their teams in the previous map. Kazuki getting some nutty plays, nutty air shots onto the medic, some brilliant double bombs with the likes of Nod, and Mentalex, meanwhile, on that flank, was absolutely tearing it up as well, pounding the damage, not necessarily making the flashiest of plays, but was just hitting some huge damage for his team and making a lot of space and a lot of opportunity. So yeah, you're going to want to look out for those guys. But yeah, no, we should be going live soon.
Yeah, just waiting for Grabber, who is in spec right now, so it shouldn't be long before seeing him in team, and indeed he has swapped in, so depending on how agile the teams are, we should be looking to hopefully ready up soon. Very invested in the pre-game, I see. A lot of players dying, hit their friends, as you do. And hear the countdown, so that must mean we're going live to the second map.
And here we have it. It is going to be Feila eSports on the red side. I think, again, yeah, that's correct. And Lucrosa on the blue team. Noz getting there just the slightest bit quicker, but he's taking some big damage from Joni. He's going to have to back off. It's going to be Wish who's taking the majority of the aggression here. Agi getting into a brilliant position here already. Can he get that final to Grabber? He's going to isolate him. Grabber's falling down to half health. He's getting butter stabbed and he gets trick stabbed as well. No Grabber, no medic. That's going to be easy push now for Feila here. Layla playing in the banana section. They're going to be able to take this with so much confidence. They find Chupa and Crayon as well as Kazuki. And yeah, that is going to be an easy first push for them.
Yeah, it looks better on the side of the Lucrosa actually initially. We had the Scout taking all the early space earlier on and getting that early damage in, but I think anyone on the Lucrosa could follow up, and eventually just got minced on the rest of the point as the rest of Feila walked forwards, and now they're going to be consolidating in this banana position right now. You've got Layla and Ludis hold up here. As the rest of the Lucrosa look push forward, Noz getting piped there by Jonah, so good stuff from him coming out there, so that's going to deny any sort of aggression, I think, from the side of the Lucrosa. Although Crayons and Rambo are looking to toe cap this and try and force some players out. The rest of the Feila looking a bit tentative to actually push out on this and contest this. Probably waiting for as much cap time as possible to try and milk this Uber as much as possible. They've got Jonah behind, he picks up Layla as a drop, and now the rest of the Crows are surely going to walk in forwards right now. We've got Jonah on the receiving end trying to take some damage in, and actually hold this fairly well, actually, considering the earlier implications. And actually Jonah getting another pick onto Noz there. The Crows are very actually on the receiving end right now, not able to get this cap right now, but I think eventually they're going to edge out in their favour.
They're finally going to get it after a minute there. Chupa doing what he does best with some brilliant stabs there, taking down Layla, took down Joan as well. That was a really helpful little 3k there for his team, opening up a pretty easy push there. They did slow down a little bit, and they have killed about a minute as well off the clock. So it's fairly okay for Feila at the moment. It's definitely nothing to worry about too much. They might be getting ready for this repush here. Kronk falling very weak. Does get picked off by Bloodis. The Uber does come out. They do lose Joan. They lose Jinxie as well. But Layla, where is she? I think she's out of there. Maybe she's dead. Who knows? No, there she is. She is way back. She's actually on the Kritzkast as well, on about 70% at the moment. Kazarok, one of the only survivors there. Oh no, wait, and Spamfest, there's a few others. They actually managed holding on to this quite well as Kasuki gets picked off by the mini sentry. They might be able to make this repush happen fairly soon. Agi's going to get that pick onto Wish as well. The repush comes straight back in. Nice backstab by Chupa onto Layla there. Now the follow-up's coming in hot. Konoz taking down Spamfest. Bloodis going down as well. They want to try and hold on to this, but they are going to lose the point. Lucrosa with some brilliant picks.
Yeah, I think the whole point about Feila's attentiveness there to actually commit to that was that they were hoping to get the force out, which they did actually onto Grabber. So he was forced on low Uber percentage, so they were looking to move forward the crits. But once again, Chupa coming in behind and getting the drop onto Layla. But Feila still managed to get that cap time out, so that's going to go in their favour with a slight lead actually over Lucrosa right now. The rest of the team, Lucrosa right now, looking to try and push forwards. Got Kronk looking in this drop down area, but gets cleaned up by Menti, and now consolidating in Banana right now. As Wish tries to get some more cap time of his own. The Uber's going to get popped up here into Wish, who did some great stuff to add on the product right now. But he's looking to try and maybe get some frags, but getting denied, I think, from Pyro. And Kazarok actually gets to pick up the grabber, so no medic for the side of Lucrosa as they try to maybe toe cap this, but not enough players on their side, so they're going to be looking to back off.
Yeah, it was really well defended there. Grabber using maybe a little bit too late. He dropped most of his players before he decided to use there. It was just Wish in the Uber in the end, and no real damage could be done. And Feila didn't really have to back out in the end. They could just kind of hold firm. I think they lost like 2 players, and then they were able just to make a really quick repush and hold on to the point there. So decision by Layla and the team. Now they're going to be holding on to this pretty confidently. Xenor's getting sniped down by Kazarok. He's turned up quite considerably. That's going to make things difficult for Lucrosa if they want to push this. Crayon wants to lead the charge. He's already so weak, though. He gets cleaned up by Jinxie, who goes down to Kasuki in return. But yeah, I mean, they're holding on to this so comfortably at the moment here. As Wish gets picked off by Kazarok. Rambasaur getting piped down as well. It's just so many frags holding on to this really, really well at the moment. And they're playing a little bit more aggressive now as Kasuki on top, trying to put some damage out. The Uber does come out eventually. Then Grabber's not in a very good position at all. He gets picked off. There's nowhere for Kronk to run either. The high bomb from Kasuki comes in. Can they make anything of it? They do manage to get the frag onto Layla. Nice rockets by him, but the damage is done already. They haven't got anyone to commit to the point here, and they're going to take this 1-0.
Yeah, dominant first round there for Feila, proving their point from the last game, keeping that streak going. 4 rounds on both costs now for the side of Feila. Going into this next round right now, not really giving the Crows much space there. They only managed to get, I think, 1 minute of time onto the point. And that was mostly when Chupa was doing God's work once again onto the flank, picking up Layla. So now coming into this next bit right now, we got Jonah taking the early position here onto this ramp area, as well as Knoz. Trion's going to take some shotguns, a big jump in actually, Kasuki trying to take some tension away. He's going to go behind right now and just take the general attention away from his team, as Layla tries to consolidate his position with Joe. So the rest of the team will support forward. Trion really aggressive on the point right now, trying to get some time out. The Spamfest toe capping, but very early contentions here. But I think the frags going the way to the side of Feila, and indeed they are. A lot of frags going the way to the side with some of the respawners in, and there should be a first point for Feila once again.
Yeah, they're playing this a lot better than before. I think they are just generally more stronger as a combo here. They're losing less players, they're feeding a lot less than they were last game, which is always good to see. At the same time, Grabber did get out with his life as well as Layla, so we might be seeing an Uber exchange soon. It's going to be Wish just trying to commit to the point, and that's a crit, and it's a brilliant one at that. He takes down Layla, and Joan does. The frags do come in, however, for Feila at the moment, as Wish and Chupa both get picked off. I don't know if they're going to be able to, if it's going to be enough, as Tea Time, Agi and Jinxie all go down in return as well. It's just up to Menti now to try and get some frags in, along with the likes of Bloodis. Bloodis falls, it's just Menti, he has to back out. Brilliant crits placement there by Xenos though.
Yeah, excellent stuff there, getting the 2 key picks. So Menti really deep in, getting the pick onto the Kronk as well. So that's going to be heavy down for the side of the Crosa. But like I was saying, yeah, huge crits coming up from the side of the Crosa there. Managed to pick up Joe and Layla. and then managed to consolidate the position up. I think Feila tried to make the rest of it. They tried to get their soldiers in and Bloodis to try and take the attention away on this side, but didn't quite work out in the end. And now they're going to wait for their spawns and get this repush now, which they're doing right now. Got Joe taking the early brunt of this damage here from Noz, and actually gets headshot up the back there. He's going to be careful not to go down too early. And I think it's another crits once again from Knoz.
It was, yeah. He took down Joe, and I think he took down T-Time as well. Layla this time, a lot more savvy. Was able to get out with her life quite comfortably as well. So they're going to have now a pretty big Uber advantage to work off. Layla, with the help of Bloodis and Jinxie, they're going to be getting ready for this repush here. They find Bez and Chupa as well, and they can just start crusading across this point here. They're wasting no time. Braille's really weak, actually. Uber comes out, and he gets taken down. They want to keep on going, though. Nice there by Joan, taking down Grabber. He does go down in return, but that's a brilliant trade nonetheless. They're going to be able to hold on to this point really comfortably, with Layla sitting at the back with a good Uber advantage, about 20%. Defended comfortably by Bloodis. Absolute thick boy there. And yeah, he's going to just do tons and tons of work currently for his team as he's trying to defend the point, but I don't think he can do it by himself. Now Joan's back here, though. They might be able to commit to this a little bit, but for now, considering that Uber advantage, they can sit fairly comfortably here.
Yeah, it was a big bomb there for Joe to get the pick to grab. They lost so many players on that bomb bait. They had like 5 up by the time they managed to cap mids. There's just no defense there for the mid points, and the Crows simply just walked over and managed to take it back for themselves. And they're going to have quite a sizable lead here of 30 seconds now, coming into this, probably to the closing stages of this round, I think. We got Chupa coming on to Menti, huge step and him jumping down. That's going to be a soldier down from the side of Feila. And they let the consolidate this point once again. Joe goes in deep once again with the bomb as the Uber comes out, and Feila look to really commit with this point capture.
Yeah, I mean, they had to use that Uber there, but it wasn't a great one, to be honest with you. And Rambosaur now can just sort of move on to the point, and no one's really contesting him, getting a lot of time on point there. And Chupa, but Layla, not before he gets the stab onto Layla. So well played by him. Now surely they'll take this point here. Yes, they won at ×5. Very, very easily indeed. And Chupa just turning up once again, doing tons of work, constantly got his eyes on Layla's back there. And yeah, they're going to be holding on to this for now, playing fairly aggressive inside that banana area. Xenos putting out some good damage there. He's trying to take that 1v1 against Jinxie, but he can't overcommit. He can't be risking facing Kronk as well there. They do find the frag onto Wish. And now Bloodis, we're on the respawn. He is leading the charge a little bit, just slowly edging his way to the point with T-Time. But it's not looking too great for them as the crits comes out. In fact, it's been quite a lot of work just in reflecting all of those crit stickies there. And yeah, they're going to be able to just absolutely collapse back onto the point now. Kazuki got a nice little rocket onto Layla as well, but it's not really going to be enough there. Layla's probably going to have it for on 60% now. Good Uber advantage. They lost Grabber in that exchange as well. Not the best crits we've seen so far. I think maybe the effect has worn off a little bit.
Yeah, it's sort of really simple there once Feila was starting to move forwards, like with Bloodis and everything, and then Kronk decided to go drop down and try and get some spam of his own, but it didn't work out for him. He got picked up really early, and then the Crows were left with like 5 players and forced to back off from that point. So Feila, with it all to play for, huge time deficit to catch up to. We got Chupa on the back line now cloaked in, but he's going to bump into Menti and get called out as the rest of the Crows are trying to take their general space on the point with his toe cap. Uber in for the side of Feila right now onto Jinxie. He's going to try and get a pick onto Noz, but the dispenser cover from him actually keeps him alive. He might get a pick onto Jinxie as well. It's going to be Wish cleaning that. Smart stuff there from Noz using the dispenser for cover. The rest of the team that's trying to toe tap this once again and get this time back. And as
nice
I say,
little stab there by Grabber onto Grabber though. Sorry to cut you off there, but like really, really nicely done. That's going to make things a lot more difficult for Lucrosa now, but they are probably going to be able to do it as Layla still hasn't quite respawned. Joan's still down as well as Bloodis. They're probably able to recapture this, but nonetheless, it's going to put things in a good position for them. Feila now have their medic. They can probably actually start pushing this a little bit here. Jinxie gets that frag onto Xenos, which is also really helpful. They do lose the point, and Joan does go down as well. So Layla now falling weak, has to back up as well there with 15 seconds left. The respawns are coming in. Can they make anything of it at this point? They've really got to start committing. They've only got 10 seconds left. Menti on the high ground there, putting good damage in. He can see Grabber on the Vax as well. They find Bez just something. But I don't know how they're going to counter with that. Vax, finally they get the pick onto Kronk there, and they're starting to get players on the point, but they're losing so many. Knoz taking down so many players with the help of Kasuki as well on that black box. It's just Joan and Menti at this point. Can he take the fight? No, he cannot. Wish kills them both, in fact. Menti did manage to get a nice little 2k. Agi trying to play that point, but he just gets knocked off, and that is going to do it. 1-1 now.
Yeah, I think what was crucial there for Lucrosa was that Feila were really hasty to try and recover from that cap on Lucrosa, I think. Had a lot of players going in, but they just didn't have the numbers to try and put proper contention on the point. Had like 5 players up at a time, and they were trying to contest it. And eventually just snowballed from there, and Lucrosa were eventually closed out that round. So coming into the next bit right now, Noz taking a very forward position, and Kazuki's very deep in the top right here. Actually, he's going to probably decloak onto him and gets the backstab as well. Very inconvenient there for Kazuki there to get picked off like that, but he's going to die anyways. And the rest of the Feila try to get more space on the point as the rest of the Crows push forward into Banana. And very hectic fight right now. Bloodis goes out early, and Kronk actually picked up 3 quick kills there. That's going to kill off any sort of mid-aggression for Feila.
Quite possibly, yeah. I mean, they lose Grabber and Kronk as well, though. So not looking too great for them. However, Layla went down as well. So it's going to be equal Ubers for the both of them. Joan going down late in that fight as well there. Bloodis almost getting picked off, but turns around just in time to see Chupa. Deals with him promptly. Nice little 3k, as you said, though, by Kronk. Opened up a lot of opportunity there. But now Feila are ready to get back in onto this fight there. Jinxie wasting no time. As hot on his heels, they're going to be able to dry cap this. This is what Feila does best, though, ultimately. They're just walking onto the point, and Lucrosa don't want to fight here. They don't want to risk anything. And yeah, I mean, that was a quick repush. And with a small Uber advantage as well, Feila can sit fairly comfortably.
Yeah, very cozy in this banana area for Feila right now, trying to hold here. Mentalex up top just causing general spam. The crates, as Kazuki tries to do the same from his side. Point capped all the way in favour of Feila, but eventually the Crows are going to try and toe cap this right now. Try and force some players out from this banana area, and eventually they had to be forced out shortly. But they're actually going to use this Uber right now. I don't know if Layla got forced or whatever, but they're going to be leaning on to Jinxie right now, trying to get some early damage, but not much going to come of it. I don't think they got any picks of that. And then the cleanup immediately afterwards, the Uber from the Lucrosa, huge picks coming out from them, and it's only going to be 2 up at some point for Feila, as the Lucrosa will take this point once again.
Yeah, it's really not much of a Uber there from Feila. They keep trying to make that Uber from Banana, and it never seems to be successful for them. They lose Joan fairly early on. I think a few players overextend, a few players don't commit enough. It all seems a little bit fragmented. Not what we've seen in the past from Feila, especially on the likes of Product. Not even on this map. I've seen them play so well on this map in the past here, but they seem a little fragmented at the moment, with some players just kind of committing too hard and dying too much. Some players not really committing enough. Joan getting picked off. Nice little body shot there by Bez. I think that's one of the best picks that they can make there. Casino's going down in return. That's a nice little trade for Feila at the same time. However, T-Time and Bloodis both getting taken out at the same time. Jinxie on the follow-up goes down as well. And not looking too great for Feila if they want to try and commit to this dry push, which I'd say is their biggest trade for them.
Yeah, all the frags right now going away for the Crows. Bez doing God's work as well, getting, I think it was 5 kills at some point during that melee. But the rest of the Crows are going to walk in and like consolidate their position onto the point with this quite a sizable lead right now into this 3rd round, it has to be said. Looking to try and get that 1 round advantage, as I'm sure Feila are doing the same. And they're actually going to be using off here, I think. Feila using it onto T-Time. Not much going to come out of it though, as the Crows are going to reply with theirs, trying to get a lot of pressure onto this right side right now. They're locked down to very low HP as the rest of the team tries to get healed up. But Joe gets picked off by Bed, who is now on a 6k. That's going to kill off any sort of aggression, I think, for the side of Feila, as the Crows look to consolidate their position on Banana and the point as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, they're holding it way better than they were in maybe like the first round. But finally, the frags are coming in for them. Kronk and Wish both getting picked off now. Dry push looks imminent, led by Bloodis. Someone needs to deal with Kasuki, though. He's getting a lot of damage out. Kazarok getting sniped off in that 1v1 against Bez. And no one deals with Kasuki. He is just left absolutely to his own devices, and he's causing absolute havoc for Feila. They are going to finally be able to get the cap there. No one's dealing with them once again. Menti trying to get some rockets out, but takes a lot of damage and has to back off there. They do take the point though, so that's something. Finally, with 2 minutes left, not looking too great for Feila, however, as the repush might be imminent now. Grabber with 100%, so it wouldn't surprise me if they can make this push here. Kasuki does go down. The dry push looks like they want to commit to it, as they're just kind of edge capping it a little bit. Menti getting backstabbed. Ubers do get exchanged, however. T-Time leading the charge this time, and yeah, he actually doesn't really do anything, to be fair. He just kind of tries to reflect them and then gets taken down. That was disappointing, to be quite honest. But Jinxie does manage to get that frag onto Xenos, which is something, however. However, Jinxie going down himself along with Kazarok. Not looking great for Feila at the moment.
Yeah, none of the players inside the Feila rounds are trying to test this out. They've got to be careful not to fall in that trap of trying to commit too soon and then snowballing from there with the spawns. So they've got to be really looking out for that. As the rest of the Crows look to try and give them no space, Crayon leading the charge with his flamethrower coming into main right now. As Menti tries to get his spam onto the Kronk, but getting denied once again by Crayon. But now Feila looks trying to commit to this. They're going to try and start toe capping, getting the pressure onto the point, and start forcing some of the Croza players out. They've got to be wary of the time though, coming up to 10 seconds. They've got to make sure they have a sizable chunk of overtime to amount of sort of very suitable offense here for this midpoint. Coming at 5 seconds right now, trying to get this. Jinxie once again getting a lot of cap time for his team, but eventually the Uber comes out from the side of the Croza, not seen in the charge, getting a nice sticky onto Spamfest as the rest of the team try to clean up the players and secure this round. Very hectic stuff right now. T-Time trying to get some purchase onto Knoz. He's going to have the pipes backed off, and he's going to get the picks onto Grabber. Maybe he's going to light it Afterburn. I'm not very sure. It actually gets things up by
Menti takes him down. Nice little 2K that takes down Wish as well. Well played there by him on the aggressive spot, and I think that's what we need to see more from Menti, if anything. A little bit more aggression. I'm seeing him on the sort of passive crate a lot, but he's not really dealing with Kazuki as much as I would have hoped. And Kazuki was doing a lot of work sort of when you've got Feila on the point. Finally, maybe he just heard me there because he makes a massive bomb forward. It does have to back off though. He does get a lot of damage onto Kazuki. He's pounding the damage onto Kronk, but he's eating a Sandwich, so that doesn't really make a difference. One OP little secondary right there, George. But Kritz actually does come out now to no real avail as Kronk just guns down Layla and before getting backstabbed by Agi. But now with no heals, it's not looking great as Wish can just plow forward. And I mean, surely they can push this forward now. Inksy getting headshot off, and 30 seconds left, but at the same time with no heals, I don't see why Lucrosa can't commit to this push.
Yeah, dire situations for Feila indeed. They're using their crits really early, and like they were just nowhere near the Croza players to make it effective. They just all ran off to the right side. And now eventually they're going to try and re-push in. They've got a huge override as well if they need to use it. We're going at 10 seconds right now with this tie. Feila really desperate to try and hold this up and try and get another round back. But the Uber does eventually come out onto Wish. He's going to be walking forwards, getting some frags of his own. Joe goes down in the melee, and Blood is eating the sandwich on point. He's eventually going to get mids down by the rest of the team, while the rest of this team is going to back off. Grabber with the little amputator taunts there, killing up his team as well. And they're going to recap it. That's going to be 2-1 to the Croza.
Yeah, it was such a close little engagement there, actually. I thought that maybe Feila, considering how many players they had parked on the point there, might be able to tank it. But alas, some brilliant frags and brilliant damage coming out from Wish pretty much put that to an end. So now it's 2-1 to Lucrosa, but at the same time, Feila have come back from worse. Still definitely not over yet, still anyone's game as we go into this fourth round now. High bomb in from Kazuki, as we've seen all game, getting behind enemy lines there. Does pick up the pack and he's now way behind, but he's so weak. I don't know if he'll be able to do much damage. But meanwhile, on the front line there, Joan leading the charge, taking down 2. Kronk going down as well to Menti. Menti takes down the sentry gun. Now it's just up to the combo, but they have to back up a little bit and do it all by themselves. Grabber's going to escape with his life. On about 90% now. Layla surviving the onslaught as well, and they can take this point comfortably and sit in banana, and probably might be seeing another kind of mediocre push from Feila if they can't really change up this strategy.
Yeah, it was getting echoes actually from the first round from the Croza as well. Really taking like some early space at the point, but it wasn't available to be capped, and eventually they just got cleaned up by the damage from Joe and the rest of the team. So the Feila right now with this cap time, they're going to be holding this banana like we saw before. They've got to make sure they not have a lackluster Uber like you said before. When Feila, I think Layla got fought, I believe, like, during that time. So the rest of the team going to be holding up for the banana as the rest of the Crows are trying to get some toe capping going on. We've got Wish on the point with Crayon just taking some general space. And eventually he's going to force out the Uber from Joe right now. He's going to come on the right side, but there's barely any the Crows players to meet, and they're going to get a face ball with Uber charge with Crayon, picking up Layla as well in that melee. The rest of the team is going to die down, and looks like a pause.
Are we in a pause? I think we might be in a pause at the moment. The player disconnected or whatever. But Yeah, I mean, it's a good time to really talk about how great that Uber is and why they keep doing it. They kind of use it out of banana, and then they have to run all the way around across the point, around the blue crate, and try and get the force. And by the time that they've actually forced off Grabber, there's got about 10-20% left, and she hasn't got enough time to back off, and they're literally in enemy territory. And it's just a done deal at that point. Layla goes down. Jones currently really weak. I don't even know where he is at the moment. I think he's trying to back out. He's really weak. And they've really achieved nothing other than Layla's dead. They've used Grabber's Uber, but he's going to have an advantage now because Layla's in the respawn queue. Meanwhile, they're going to lose the point as well. There's nothing really to be gained there. They keep doing the same push, and it's never seemed to be working for them. They could maybe wait it out a little bit longer, or maybe hold in a different position, or hold a little bit more aggressively before using. I don't really know. I'm no good Highlander player, but I just don't feel like that's it's ever working, and they keep trying to make it work. But I mean, George, do you have any insight on what they might be able to do to improve the situation?
Well, I think that the first things first is that the Lucrosa are doing really, really well on holding on the left side right now. They know when to push in at the exact right times when Feila go for these weird pushes from Banana. And they generally hold it down pretty well, especially during the Uber exchanges when they're just able to get Grabber outside and just generally keep him alive while the rest of Feila try to commit forwards. And we actually are out of this pause right now. Going to be some caps. Going to be the point caps for the Lucrosa, I'm pretty sure. It's going to be coming in. I'm about to reload my HUD as well because I'm not sure what the time is.
Yeah, me both. Well, about 2 minutes left for Feila at the moment, and it's not going to last that much longer. However, Tea Time is just running forward. Does get body shot down by Bez there. Nice effort by him though, delaying the point by a little bit, taking it down to 1 minute 44. Finally, Lucrosa going to get some time on the point there as Bez gets a nice headshot onto Kazrock, gets it onto Layla as well. Nice little follow up by Wish as well as he takes down Joan. Brilliant picks from Lucrosa.
Yeah, the Crossers are really delivering on the fragging front, like getting the crucial kills when it matters most, and that's why they're going to be like a round up so far. 1 point away from getting this map, but actually going to get a pick onto Rambosaur on the main area. And now the Crows are going to have to come up with a banana hold of their own, it seems, as the rest of Feila try to regroup on their left side. It'll be interesting to see how this acts up for Feila, and immediately Jonah goes down to Bez, so that's a demo man down for the side of Feila. And actually the Uber does get forced here, I believe, from Grabber, so that's going to be some good consolidation here, but they've got to be careful not to lose later in this exchange though. And then it's actually going to be Grabber on the receiving end there, getting picked off by Kazarok, and immediately Kazarok is going to get picked by Chupa as well, as the rest of Feila try to toe cap this out and get some much needed cap time to try and secure this round.
Absolutely. I'm surprised actually they didn't really commit to killing Layla. Layla's just standing still while Wish is trying to kill her. That was the ultimate juke there. I think Wish was preempting Layla to be like moving around and she just stood still. I think she might have been typing, and Wish just like whiffed like 2 of his shots and then got taken down. Did get 1 pick onto Layla, but it wasn't enough. So well played. I don't know if it was intentional there by Layla, but well played for surviving that. However, the bombing from Kazuki is going to get the force off. Kazuki and Xenos both go down. Again, they have been used off early and Grabber's nowhere to be seen, so they're not going to have that Uber advantage once more. Grabber now on 50%, but they are going to be able to hold on to the point for quite a while. It was a good force, but at the same time, like I maybe would have tried a different strategy, but they're just still sitting comfortably on the point here. They're going to be backing into Banana now, and awaiting this push from Grabber, who now has about 80%, as Joan goes down as well. This is a prime time to be pushing for any team on a COF map once you lose your demo man, and losing your soldier helps even more as Menti gets picked up as well. Layla getting revolver down as well. Kazarok too. Surely they have to push this now. Get some players on the point already, Lucrosa. It's just Jinxie. You can deal with him. They do find Kronk, and Jinxie does get taken down. Tea Time just runs in as well, trying to get the pick onto Grabber. Grabber does full weak, but gets out with his life, and finally they're going to be able to get the point. It's taken long enough though.
Yeah, it certainly has taken long enough. I guess the only consolidation there for Feila is that the Lucrosa could probably kept a bit sooner, but they didn't. So they're going to have a slight time advantage now. They're going to be left on 17 seconds while the Lucrosa got to make up around 2 minutes to try and take this map. So the rest of the Lucrosa are now going to set up in this Banana hold, which we've seen before actually. Feila have been struggling with it recently, but I think the Lucrosa have managed to hold this up pretty well, apart from the forces they get from, I think, from Mentalex coming in. So now, Feila coming in, once again, big bomb in from Menti getting onto the Kratos as Grabber tries to get into position. The Uber does come out on the side of the Lucrosa right now, trying to get onto Knoz and Wish on this left side, but Wish is actually very deep coming in, but he's going to have to back off eventually. Doesn't quite fancy his chances against the rest of the team, as the rest of Feila are going to wrap around now, trying to get a pick onto Rambo, which they do so. Jonah getting the early pick onto him. And the rest of the Crows are trying to consolidate at this point. Kronk knocked down with very low HP, he's going to get picked off. And the rest of the Feila are going to be coming up, really 3 players up on the Crows.
Yeah, now they can ably collapse onto the point, getting some really nice picks there. Well played by Feila, backing out soon enough. As soon as that Uber was used, Layla was straight out of there, and Wish didn't want to overcommit to it, which I think is a good decision as well. Now we're going to have to be seeing some bold aggression from Lucrosa as the bold jump comes in fact. Brilliant sticky damage coming in from Xenos. The Uber comes off, they're back on that Vax. We keep seeing it. They lose Xenos, they lose Crayon, Chupa as well. So many players, in fact, they're going to bring this back to 2-2. Once again, we are playing a nail-bitingly close Koth map here, and if Feila can win this last round, they can take the semi-final victory. They can make themselves a guaranteed spot in the finals.
Indeed, once again going all the way. Both of these Koth maps are just insane. I can't barely contain my excitement right now. Like, he's just going down to the wire. Feila coming back once again from the brink, it seemed, with their early escapades, but they're going to be coming back into this right now. Very aggressive stuff here from the Crows once again. Actually, T-Time's going to be the first one to die from Bez, as the rest of the Crows are really aggressive in this main area. Knoz gets knocked down to low HP, but he's going to have to back up for heal. And Chupa double backspam onto Kazirock and Layla as the med down for the side of Feila, and only 4 players up right now. It's going to be an easy mid-cap, surely, for the Crozer.
Yes, such good aggression from Lucrosa there. Brilliant double backstab by Chupa. And yeah, they're going to have to back this up as expected. Looking very, very good for Lucrosa at the moment. Joan on the right side, waiting for his medic, waiting for his buff, and then he wants to get in. Probably needs to try and pull off a nice little bomb or something like that if they want to try and get the force off onto Grabber. They lose Kazarock as well, and Menti. Not looking great for them at the moment there. They are really bunched up though at the moment. They could definitely make something of this. I don't know if Layla is on crits at the moment. This might be the time to do it. No, it's actually Grabber's on crits. They use the laser beams. They find Layla, in fact. Do get taken down. They lose a lot of players in the process. They do get the pick onto the medic. But I don't know if that was really enough. They lose Bliss and Menti as well. So that's something, but not the best Uber crits use, I would say. But I mean, at least they got the medic there, but Layla's already back up now, and they want to re-push this, and Grabber got out with his life. He's now got 30% crits, Layla on about 25 or so, so they're going to have that crits advantage, but they're finally going to be able to recapture the point after a minute.
Yeah, I think the intention of that Chris was to actually bunch them up into drop down so that Kronk could actually get a lot of laser beams onto the side of Feila, but only getting Layla in that exchange there. So which is useful though. It actually buys time for your team because you don't have enough heals, but she's going to respawn eventually. And crits advantage once again for the side of the Crows are coming into this. They're going to be on 90%. Be interested to see how they take this Chris push in for this time round. Got Jonah hanging in this drop down area trying to get some early pipes onto the enemy gamers. So the rest of the team is to consolidate right now. Crits used on the side of the Crows right now. They're going to be walking in, I think it's all going to be invested onto Noz, but they're already out on the side of Feila, I think. Early T-Time going down there. And actually, Feila went down in that exchange as well. I didn't see that. And they're going to be actually getting this cap time.
Yeah, Layla went down to, I believe it was Chupa. I think throughout all that kind of like fear of the crits, they let their guard down, and Chupa was able just to exploit that a little bit and find Layla, take her down. And she's back respawn though, coming up on that left side to regroup with Joan, and they might be able to make something of this now as Kazuki gets off. They need to basically, I think, commit to these dry pushes. It seems to be their biggest asset now. Kronk's falling very weak, he goes down. They've got to deal with those pissed on players there. They lose Rambasaur, Knoz and Chupa, only losing Joe and Menti in the process as well. Bloodis just storming on point, the rest of his team following up. They're going to be able to get that capture as well. Well played by them, and they have to back up a little bit, I guess, because Grabber now, I think he's still in the crits, 100% as well. They're going to be getting ready to use that, no doubt.
Yeah, Knoz coming in right now. They're going to be ready for this crits right now. They're going to be grouping up in this main area, just waiting for that perfect opportunity to push in, perhaps for a distraction from the rest of the team. The crits does get popped onto Knoz right now. Immediately 2 picks on the spam fest and T-Time. Nice stuff from him, and actually Bez gets an extra pick onto Menti as well. The 3 picks in that exchange right now, but don't get the crucial pick onto Layla, and actually use that Uber in that exchange right there. So Feila just about hanging on to this point right now as Jonah tries to get more pipes into the cluster of Lucrosa gamers. And actually might get a sneaky pipe there onto Wish for drop down. Doesn't quite manage it though, as the rest of the team looks to try and hold forwards right now. We've got Jinxie here taking the initial face on here, but he gets picked off by Chupa from Banana. He goes down himself to the minigun of Bloodis. And eventually just really having consistent cap time in Lucrosa, really just not giving Feila any sort of room.
No, and now Layla is going to have a advantage. If Grabber can, however, and use that crits advantage, he might be able to make something of it, and I think that's what they're trying to do. Build it as quickly as they can and use it as quickly as they can. It's about equal. I don't know if they're even going to have the opportunity to do that. In fact, they use the Uber straight away. That's probably the best bet. Then no one seems to have seen Kronk or Xenos, though, on the back lines. Finally, Xenos gets caught out. Kronk's going to get caught out as well. Can he win the 1v1 against Spamfest? No, yes, he can, sorry. He's quite weak, though. Playing in that under area, just going to have to wait for the sandwich. In the meantime, back on the ground level, we've got Feila having to fall back a little bit, and they've got to worry about this crits now. They couldn't find Grabber just in time. They lose Menti as well, and now Lucrosa just sitting onto the point. They didn't even have to use the crits. But however, they've taken off like a big chunk of time at the moment. Only 30 seconds left for Feila. It's looking very strong for them. If they can hang on to the Uber and kind of dodge a few critses, then there's no reason why they can't redeem this point.
Yeah, really crucial stage right now for the Lucrosa. They need to hang on to this crits to have any sort of chance, I think, to kill this round. Time advantage on the side of Feila, and could actually get forced in. Actually, the crits does come out on the side of Feila. Feil's immediately in with the stickies, but not finding much though. It's going to be most of the flank doing the work, actually, with Kronk and Chupa getting their respective kills. Actually, Jonath going down very late as well in that fight. So no demo man for the side of Feila, which you consider very crucial. And Kazuki's going to have a big deep bomb in to try and get onto Layla, but eventually she goes out. So last 30 seconds of this time now for the Lucrosa, looking to try and seal off this map and take it to Badwater. And you've got Feila trying to win this map to take the series in general. Really intense stuff coming up here, coming into this next push. And no crits on the side of the Lucrosa right now, but very crucial stuff right now. The Uber does come out on the side of Jonath. He's going to try and block out Grabber coming in on this up top here on this road. He gets the pick onto Grabber. That's the mid down. The rest of Feila are on the point right now, getting this cap time. The Lucrosa are nowhere to be seen. They're going to have to get this back. 27 seconds, I believe, to try and take this map back.
They have 27 seconds to make a successful repush. Absolutely, George. We could probably even see in Grabber's notorious vaccinator play when he respawns. No, he's actually going to be opting for the quick fix. Another sort of bold move there. A bit of a gimmick there with 10 seconds left now. It's not really any time to commit to any proper medigun. Ludis gets caught out by Kazuki, and now they're storming on point. It's anyone's game at the moment. It's Jolo leading the charge. They've got to deal with Kronk. They've him down.
Two players up.
Now they've got to deal with Crayon. One's
It's
dealing
just
with
Grabber.
him. Finally, he gets taken down. It's Grabber.
It's
That is not
over.
going to do it. It is over, George. It is over, as you say. That is GG. And Feila eSports are going to take the semi-finals in a 3-2 victory, not once, but twice. Both on Product and on Warmtic. 3-2, nail-bitingly close though, and really well played to Lucrosa. They will be going home with a third place Premiership title there. So, you know, it's certainly nothing to grumble at though.
Not at all. Third place in very respectable. But like, you got a feel for Lucrosa though. They were so close both maps, and they just missed out at the last possible moment. It just came down to that last push really with Feila. 27 seconds left, and Lucrosa just simply had no time to mount any sort of repush. They're going to be going home in third place, like you said. Really heartbreaking stuff for them. But I think you'll be seeing them next season, even stronger perhaps.
I expect so, yes. I mean, they have been kicking around for a while now, starting off in, I believe, in like mid or something like that, and working their way up. So they're definitely not going to be finishing anytime soon. Kronk, very, very dedicated team leader, and always pushing his team to the very best. And it is paying off for them as they're making their way to Prem playoffs, which, you know, for some teams it takes ages to really get to. But they've done it in, I think it's either 1 or 2, well, 2 seasons. I think this is their second season. Maybe it's the third. Either way, in Prem that is. Either way, well played to them. Feila will be going into the finals, much like last season where they played off against Strong Opinions in the finals, taking it to a best of 3. We'll be seeing them play out against Elephant in the not too distant future. But anyhow, we're going to have a quick look at the logs before we wrap this up, though. let's have a look. So, I mean, the demo, man, holy moly. Joan coming in with 39 frags to 29 deaths and 530 DPM. So, you know, it's not really unexpected to see demo men flourish in a map like this. It is a Koth map after all, and just with the sheer volume of players that are listed across the map, it's just huge potential for damage, and that is it's fine. There with some brilliant logs. Meanwhile, Knoz going still very impressively at 37 to 27 on 474 DPM as well. So very, very similar logs in terms of damage numbers, in terms of kills and whatnot. So, and in terms of death. So that was very good by them. But then takes a sudden change. You've got a big list of strong DM Lucrosa players coming in next. You've got Chupa once again, 37 to 35. He's just been absolutely consistently herring it up on the back lines this whole game. So I'd say maybe the MVP of the map, definitely in the top 3, but my MVP at least. Meanwhile, and Wish as well, you know, he'd definitely be a close runner-up as well, as he comes in for 35 to 28. Doing a lot of work once again, and Bez winning that sniper duel once again. He actually turned out victorious, which is quite strange considering how on the ball Kazarok's been in the group stages, how he was just demolishing every single sniper. He was ahead by about 50 kills of any player, and he hasn't really been performing quite what I would have expected him to, considering his performance in the group stages. But 28 to 25, still nothing to grumble at. Still doing enough work for his team, and hopefully maybe he can warm himself up a little bit for the finals and really flourish then. George, any other ones you want to comment on?
I'll say once again, with the death disparity between the medics right now, Layla dying 8 more times than Grabber, total 21 times in total. And Grabber actually having a stellar game, I think, in terms of his logs. 13 deaths, 36 assists in total over 5 rounds, so nice heals coming out from him. And then also Layla dropping 1 more time than Grabber, so Grabber dropped once, Layla dropped twice. And a lot more variety of miniguns as well coming out in this game, like compared to Product. You got Grabber using the Kritzkrieg Vaccinator and Minigun in one match, and then you saw later earlier with the crits as well, but that wasn't really working out in their favour during that first round. So it's interesting to see that amount of death disparity between the medics again, considering what we saw last time. It was a very similar story, it seemed. Like, the Crows are really dishing out the more frags, but just couldn't manage to time the caps right in the end, and that's ultimately what led to their demise.
Absolutely, yes. So, just once again, commiserations then to Lucrosa, but very well played, and certainly a lot of potential for the upcoming seasons. All the players involved are currently, just absolutely destroying it. Just with a bit more practice and cohesion, I'm sure they can definitely flourish and maybe even see themselves in the final for next season. But alas, it is not going to be the case. It is going to be Feila eSports. They're going to take the victory, send them into the finals up against Elephant, that will be scheduled soon. So stay tuned. Just follow all of our KritzKast social media for updates on that match. We will be working as soon as we can, as soon as we know the times and whatnot, to get a schedule going. So look out for that. I'd also like to shout out to our Patreon at the moment. So KritzKast, working super hard, delivering weekly casts, but also podcasts, just casual, competitive, a variety of TF2 related things. So if that's something that you are really enjoying, and you got a little bit of cash on you, and you want to, give back, show your support, then Patreon links will be in the Twitch chat shortly. And I think that's really about it. George, you got any shout-outs?
Shout out to Lucrosa for the close games. They came really, really close to taking the map off, but just couldn't quite manage it in the end. And shout out to my current Sixes team, Selected.
Alrighty. And so, and once again, big thank you to Foppish for stepping up on the productions, doing a great job as usual. Thank you, George. It's been a pleasure to cast with you for the first time, and I hope this is one of many. But that is going to do it for us today, ladies and gentlemen. I have been Chando. I've been joined by Georgebaii. I have been joined by Foppish, and I've been joined by lovely you guys. So thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Cheerio.
Hi, old beaver! Away!